All right, part two. If you don't know what's going on in this video, you need to watch part one, which is 7-string versus drop tuning. Okay, so what I got here, just to finish up on the last point I was making, was that if you were to drop tune so much on whether it's a 6-string or a 7-string to the point where it's not audible, what's the point, right? So we already saw in the first video the difference between a drop tuned 6-string guitar at 25.5-inch scale length versus this, right, in standard tuning, and this was just still more chunkier. Can't beat a 7-string, right? Let's bring out the 8-string. Yeah, I'll just put this here nice and gentle. Both of these guitars are in E standard tuning, but I have an extra string on here for those of you who don't know. The 8-string has not only the low B, it has, you know, E, well, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, B, E, right? And that low F sharp, if I do it on the B, still pretty audible, right? I'll just switch back to the 7-string just so you can, because the 7-string has better tension on it. My 7-string has better tension on it than my 8-string does. So this is going to be obviously the lowest string I can use is the B, but I want you to listen to the, not so much how low it is, but how audible and clear it is. Standard tuning, remember. Okay, back to the 8-string using, I'll go right onto the F sharp string doing the same riff. So you could hear that it's, even though it's not plugged in, you can still hear that the 8-string, that's the B, but that F sharp is kind of not as audible. It's more of a drone, right? That's one of my favorite riffs from, a song I call Comet into Supernova. And this drone works great for it. So it sounds good like that, but what about fast stuff? That's an F sharp, right? So you can hear that the B is a little bit more articulate. So let's do the F sharp again, then I'll go to my 7-string with better tension on it. Listen for the clarity and the notes. So you can hear every note there. So if I was to drop tune too low, right, and drop this down to F sharp or whatever, I could probably get away with it to a degree and drop this guitar down to, say, double drop A, double drop G, whatever it is, and get down to those really, really low notes. But are they going to be audible enough? So this is where you start to question whether a baritone guitar or a drop tuned 6-string guitar is better for you. Now, if you just can't get there from here, and you just don't have, like, you can drop tune, but it doesn't mean, like, in the mix, you might, like, you won't hear the 8-string in the mix. The 8-string sits in the background. You'll hear the B string up, but you won't really hear that low F. It'll just blend in with the bass, right? So you don't really have a guitar there anymore. You just have a drone. So a drop tuning on a 6-string might get you fairly far, but once you start drop tuning these guys, you can only get so far, and then you have to go true baritone, which is like 27, 28 inch, even somewhere like 29 inch, but at that point, just hire a second bass player. So understanding the limitations of your drop tunings helps you out. I think that just the 7 and 8 string just gets you further. That's all. So whether you need one or not, that's going to be the question you're asking yourself. Whether I should just keep my guitar in a drop tuning, a 6-string guitar in drop tuning, or go 7 or 8 string. For me, to get that. I love that riff that I came up with. That's a really good. That's called the running. Uh, I still need the liveliness in the guitar, and I love the fact that I can get that heavy in standard tuning. So slight drop tuning, and I will be putting this thing in drop tunings fairly soon, and that's going to be pretty epic. But there you go. You guys decide for yourselves what's better for you. Whether you need to, and this is more geared towards the people that are thinking of going towards a 7 string, but they're not sure. So the 7 string can give you a lot of stuff, but there's still lots you can like try the drop tunings on your 6 string first before you go 7 string. But you'll notice that no matter what, the 7 string is always just going to bring more. Maybe it's just this particular 7 string, but considering that this 7 string and that 8 string are, the value differences between the two of them, this is almost double the price of guitar. This is a phenomenal guitar. This is a Mark Holcomb SBN7 PRS. Awesome guitar. Probably one of the best 7 strings on the market, if you ask me, for the ones I've tried so far, which is not that many, but enough to get the idea. I think I'd take this over the 8 string any day, just because of the tension issues on the, which I've talked about before, where you don't have enough tension on the F sharp and the low B. So if you get an 8 string, you really need a fan fret to get that, which would give you even more extended range, and that would be even heavier. And again, you'd get away with more in standard tuning. So again, you don't have to drop tune as much to get the same delivery. You know what I mean? So with the 6 string, that shorter scale is always going to rob you of that baritone sound a bit. So baritone, no replacement for this placement. A Hemi's a Hemi. You know what I'm saying? And these are the Hemis. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. And there we go.